Yes, guys, what's going on? Adam McKola here. This is the Full Time Devils podcast, and we are here with Trevor and Callum of the United Road blog. We're back. Manchester United won, Liverpool won. And by we're back, I meant we're back for the podcast. Literally, not Manchester United are back because we drew with Liverpool.
Rio, we're back. Give him the contract. Give him the money now.
That's blew up in his
All
face
his
a
back.
little bit, hasn't it?
Oh.
Yeah.
You still, is your opinion on Ole drastically changed?
Absolutely not.
What
No,
about-
you know what it is for me. Like I said, you know me past history. Even when he came in, I don't believe that Man United should never had an interim manager. You know that interim manager, Man United. No. We've gone where we've gone with it. Now, honesty and transparency. Come out and say to us, this is what's happening. Yes, the results are going to be bad, but we're going to rebuild, so we've got to stick with him. So therefore, you've got to stick with him. Because even now, I was at the game on Sunday, people still don't know what's going on. You know, is that the scenario where we're going to support him? Because what if we would have lost that game? People would have said, call for his head, because that's what happened with Jose, remember, after 7 games, 15 games in. Do you know what I mean? So it's what do you do? But if they say to us, this is what's happening, we're giving him 3 years, we're giving him a Klopp scenario where he's going to let him rebuild, well, let's just go with it then, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, well, you can't keep sacking managers, can you? I mean, it's not going to do any good for the club. And if I'm honest,
Did he prove any points to anybody on Sunday?
I thought his tactics were brilliant, to be honest. I think he completely stopped Liverpool utilising the fullbacks as they usually do. I thought the tactics were spot on, to be honest. I mean, his criticism of Ole, you always seem to hear, is his in-game management. I was a bit surprised the first substitution didn't come till 83 minutes, something like that. I thought
It was just before the goal with Martial.
Yeah,
came
I
on, wasn't
thought bringing someone on earlier might have helped, just to sort of steady the game down, maybe. But that's probably my only criticism of Ole at the minute.
But I would ask this question. So with 50 minutes to go, why are you doing striker like for like? Why haven't we just blocked it off? Whether you like that cliche part of the bus, why haven't we?
Yeah, but
Why haven't we? Because at the end of the day, seeing how the goal, the phase of play, how it came from, with an extra man in the midfield, would he have been allowed to do that? I don't know.
To be fair, there was 3 errors there.
There was 3 errors there. I understand what
So it
you're
might have
saying.
just been a 4th if there was an extra
Well, yeah, maybe. But do you know what I'm saying? I can't believe why he's brought another striker on with that time. You're looking at 50 minutes to go, then you got 8 minutes to go, and you're going, what are you doing? Why have you brought Martial on? Just get us. I don't know who you're going to bring on. Don't even know who's on the bloody bench.
Well, I looked at it as maybe he wanted Martial just to come back, maybe to get him some minutes under his belt when he's back from his injury, or he wanted to think, well, I'll get Martial on, try and chase that second goal.
No.
If that was the case, though, you could have either brought a midfielder off.
See, because I thought
but at 1-0 up, you shouldn't.
I thought it was because Martial was warming up for a long time. Whether that was just because it's a muscle injury, you want him to get really warm before he comes on. But I felt Ole maybe wanted to make that change early. I had the same criticism, by the way, that he should have made the change earlier. And then maybe he thought, as the game was progressing, that actually we're keeping them out at the moment. Not much is there weren't any, real they're going to score moments up until they scored. Really, there was a few things flying across the box and all that, but there weren't any scary moments. And I feel like he just probably thought, we're quite comfortable here keeping them out.
Do you think I thought we were on the back foot for quite a while. I thought United were great for 65 minutes.
No, we were on the back foot, but I thought we were
definitely
handling it really pretty well. It was all pretty much in front of us.
What annoyed me was obviously being there and seeing it, and then watching the highlighted, edited stuff in Match of the Day, and it was all them. And I'm thinking, hold on, you're not showing our dominance here, because for a good 60 minutes, man. I mean, to be fair, I hear Talk Sport, and it's the first time that I heard a Scouser saying they thought they were lucky to come out with something. Do you know what I mean? Because United got the tactics right. Obviously, they didn't play well. I expected more from them. I said on Twitter, I expected more from them, knowing what they're about. I just think to myself, 60, 70 minutes, bang. But we were tired then because we'd worked hard. But my question is this. This is my question. So if we're going to raise our game against Liverpool, because teams raise their game against Man United, where's the consistency before? Why
I don't think it's a case of. I think actually it might be because Newcastle we didn't perform at all. But I also think it's a case of when teams soak up pressure, we can't break them down. We can't break them down, and that's why we did a video today and was asked what was the one side. James Maddison, someone to drop in that hole and create something, and we can't break teams down. And
The problem I'd see with James Maddison though is that instead of Pogba because Pogba might be leaving, or is that as well as Pogba?
I think to complement him. When you look at City, they don't just say, "Oh, we've got one player creating, so if another one comes in." Like when De Bruyne has a day off, David Silva, Bernardo Silva are creating. So do you know what I mean? You kind of need it coming from everywhere, and I feel like when Scholesy was creating some great things for us. There was also Giggsy chipping in and Beckham chipping in and other players chipping in, Carrick or whoever was around at them times.
But to be
honest,
honest,
you can't just rely on one man to create everything.
To be honest, did you both think we missed Pogba in that game?
Creative-wise, yes.
Yeah, creatively.
Defensively, no.
Right.
But you won't miss him defensively because...
Because I can only go back to PSG, where everything's stacked against us.
And without...
We were very lucky that day.
Well,
yeah,
whether we were lucky or
VAR
not,
did help us a little bit.
but it don't matter about our kid. But you're talking about this kid.
The question you're asking is... You're flirting around it, but you're asking, are we a better team without Pogba? I think not.
No,
okay.
I wouldn't say we are.
Okay.
I get your point, but... Because it's the same old argument as Pogba been good enough, but...
It might be a case of... Players around Pogba look at him and think, go on, son, do it for us when he plays. And when he doesn't, it's like, shit, we have to roll our sleeves up now, you know what I mean? Because he does take a lot of stick. So maybe he kind of like protects everyone else from that stick, and then when he's away, they work hard. I don't know.
Because I've never, ever yet, and you know I have sources within the game, but I just, still no one has come back to me with this definite answer as why we can win 12 games on the bounce, then Ole gets the job, and then we go downhill. How? What has gone on?
I think it was
because and then we give a performance like that against Liverpool, and I'm like,
they seem to step up against certain opposition though, don't they? And
that's what you get when you get.
I think the fans would
average
have been,
players, average teams.
Yeah, the fans would have gone mental if they didn't perform like that. If you can't step up against Liverpool, then you shouldn't be at Man United.
No, you see, well, that's why I disagree. Because I'm saying if you can't step up against any team, you shouldn't be at Man United.
Yeah, but
if you can only step up for the big games.
And
no,
for
I
me,
understand that.
This is Man United. You know, when I was there, you know, I'm coaching. Kids call me Coach Carter because I was tough, mate. I was firm but fair. But I'm saying to them, this is Man United. It's not a dog and duck. You know what I mean? So when you wear that shirt, mate, you cross that line. You give your all. This is why I love Keane. I don't care what anybody says about. Oh, is raw? Is loose? No, what he's saying is right because he sets standards. And to be fair, Fergie set them standards right down from the top right down, and everybody.
Well, that's what Ole's trying to bring back, though, isn't
he? But what is he, man?
Ole, yeah, I think he's trying to.
I think what he's trying. I don't know whether Ole's the man. I'm going to keep saying that. I don't know whether he's the man. But what he's trying to do is the right thing. What he's trying to do is what any of us would have tried to do as Manchester United fans. We would have gone in, said, Smalling, you're off. Alexis, you're off. Lukaku, I don't mind if you stay, but yeah, you're off. Few other players, you're off. Brought in the likes of, Maguire. We all would have signed him. Wan-Bissaka.
Jose wanted Maguire?
Yeah, but...
No, this is what I'm trying to say.
Jose deserves to get sacked.
But all these people, all these
you could argue Ole deserves to get sacked, but Jose deserves to get sacked. He said it himself.
But yeah, but like he says, and you know, and I know, right? If I'm bringing you in to do a specific job and I'm promising you A and you get Z, and eventually you're going to go, why should I bother? And that's how he got him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I don't care what you say. How can we have one of the greatest defensive coaches in the world, right? That you're not giving him what he wants because he's used to that. If you want my services, I'm on top of my tree, you're giving me X. If I don't get that, not once, not twice. For example, it's widely reported in Willian. He's gone for him, win for Willian. Chelsea have said 60 million. United offer him 50. They won't give him an extra 10 million. Why?
Yeah.
Are you having a joke?
The problem with that
we
is...
wanted Maguire. They've got 80. They've said no. And then we got Maguire.
Whether the reports were true, apparently Solskjaer wanted everyone before pre-season, which is fine. I get that. So why, it might not be true, but Woodward was negotiating with Leicester for God knows how long, saying, all right, we'll give you 60 million. No, we want 80. All right, we'll give you 70 million. No, we want 80. All right, we'll give you 75 million. No, we want 80. Why didn't he just go, right, you can have 80 million, let's get it done and dusted, and we can look at another position that we need. Adam said so many times we've needed a creative player. You can see, it's clear as day now, we are struggling to create chances. As well as a striker, look at the absolute lack of depth up front.
Whose fault's that?
Is it Solskjaer's or is it
I don't
Woodward's?
I'm saying to you it's
Solskjaer's
Woodward.
fault.
I'm saying to you it's Woodward.
It-
But I'm
no,
saying to you,
100%.
Can I just
agree.
introduce into this topic of conversation while we're on the point of Woodward and we're going around with Solskjaer? Great interview in United We Stand, the fanzine this week. We're not going to give away all the quotes like some have done, but if you want to check it out, subscribe to United We Stand. You don't have to get it from a game; you can get it online as well. Check it out. Andy Mitten's great work.
I think Andy
Ed
tweeted.
Woodward come out and he's been pretty defensive of himself. So I just wanted to introduce those quotes into the mix as well, because these thoughts on Solskjaer come on the backdrop of Ed Woodward almost saying, I'm not responsible for the football side of things. We've got great footballing men making decisions. We're making critical decisions in terms of players. Some players were not going for the right reasons, and you know, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, they were all very well thought of. How do you feel when he's coming out and in defence of himself like that?
deflection, isn't it?
Yeah.
Deflection, because the man is getting hammered. Listen, whether you like it or not, he's not a football man. From a marketing point of view, he's brilliant, isn't he? And he does whatever he does. Right? David Gill was different. David Gill knew about football and then introduced the rest of it, and he complemented it. Woodward tried to do the reverse. Come in as a businessman, Mark, you know, who brokered the deal with the Glazers. Everybody knows that. On the week that Ollie gets the job, he gets a 60% pay rise. They take more money out of it. Blah 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 blah. Now, for me, I don't care what he says, because if you're the manager and you're telling me to lower the wage bill, but I go, hold on a minute, if you're telling me to get rid of Lukaku and Suarez, that's saving us Sanchez, sorry. Spit out one. Do you know what I mean? Sanchez, which is saving us probably $1 million a week or whatever, say on, you know, thereabouts. You're leaving this, like you've just said, Callum, you're leaving us with no strength in depth. Now, if I'm the manager, I'm saying that this is not happening. One of them's going to go out.
That's why I introduced that, because I feel like he was almost saying it was up to Ollie. But yes, this is where I'm saying it might have been Ollie's decision not to sign a replacement on the last day of the window, because he didn't just want to sign anybody. But what it was clear was we wanted to sell Lukaku from the start of the window.
Right.
We wanted to let Sanchez go. Darmian, Smalling, all these players were made available.
Yeah.
Yet we didn't get rid of them to the end of the window. That's not Ollie's fault. That's Ed Woodward's fault.
Yeah.
And he has to take some responsibility for either delegating or being the man that makes those things. And I just found it really weird that a man that's in such a high position at one of the biggest clubs in the world can't take criticism.
Yeah,
No,
Like, it's fucking unbelievable.
Him coming out that football men are making the decisions. Well, look over the last 6-7 years, it to the fans, it really does not look like it.
Now, before you go on, sorry, we've got a little read we need to do. Now, you might need a beer for this bit, because you know what, it is a bit sobering when you hear of this, what Woodward's doing and all that stuff. But beer52.com/devils is the place to be if you want 8 free beers. Yes, you heard that absolutely right. Let me get the read up right now so I give it to you properly. So beer52.com/devils. All you have to do is pay the postage of £4.95 and they'll send you a whole load of beers. You usually get 8 in a box, but I think because you're a full-time Devils listener and viewer, you'll get an extra 2 free beers. So that's a total of 10 free beers. There are all sorts of hipster stuff, ales and pale ales and IPAs and all
My
that stuff.
favourite.
And what it is it's kind of like, you know, when people have these they get food sent to them and it's random meats and random. It's kind of the same with these. It's random beers that you get sent to you, and if you like them, you'll pick up different tastes for things. So it's pretty good. Beer52.com/devils to get 10 free beers for £4.95 postage and packaging. An independent UK beer company is Beer 52, and yeah, check it out. 18 plus T's and C's apply and all that. So we've got that in for Beer 52.
for you two. I don't drink. We are for you two.
You're off it as well.
I'm not drunk for years. I don't drink.
Fair play.
It's
Fair play to you.
I drink, but I can't drink
That's it, innit?
because I am an absolute lightweight.
Oh, yeah. 2 pints gone. Boom.
Two pints gone. So this 10-pack would give me 5.
Yeah, it'd give you a week's worth.
Sorry for interrupting you there, Callum. As you were saying about Ed Woodward coming out in defence of himself.
I just think over the last 6 or 7 years, however long it is, you can see it's not really been football men who've been making the decisions. It just seems like Ole didn't want to sign anyone on the last day of the window because. But it seems like that's sort of what we've been doing over the last few years. I think
he kind of mentioned that as well. In there.
But for me, it's like, you know, and I don't keep going back about Fergie because we've moved on. But the unfortunate thing about it is
we haven't moved on.
Well, no. Well, I mean, you know, in terms of management. But what I'm trying to say is, right, you're only in a commanding position when you're successful. So as Fergie, he won whatever he wanted in. There was nothing that he could ask for that he couldn't get, right? There was nothing that he couldn't ask for. So bringing pure success to the club, if he wanted to go out and get so-and-so, he's having it. He's having it. No, hold on. We have to pay the premium.
I think that's a lie,
We have to pay the premium. Do you not think so?
I think that's a lie, you know, because when you look at down the years, especially from 2005 when the Glazers come in,
right,
and you look at the kind of players that we were signing, and look, I've researched this before, so I kind of know, but I'm just going to I'm going to try and find it, Man United historical transfers. But you look at it, and you look at some of the windows. We were bringing in, one window we brought in, I think, like Park Ji-sung, Carrick, Van der Sar, which on paper is very good.
Yeah.
But in terms of money spent, was about 25 million, which is very shrewd business.
But the game's changed, that kid.
But Chelsea was scooping up at them times, the Essiens and the Robins and all that.
Yeah.
The only reason we kept in touch with them because was a Fergie.
Let's be real. Of course, but we had to because we've
Fergie didn't get everybody he wanted.
No,
that's what my point was.
Yeah, I understand.
And even Rooney came out, and we know he came out, and we hated him for it. But he was like, we need to compete with these teams.
You're right, and that's where we lost it.
The perfect example of that is 2009, I think it was. We lost Ronaldo and Tevez, and we replaced them with what? Obertan Valencia and Michael Owen, the most boring man on television. I mean, that's not a like-for-like replacement, is it? I mean, I can almost guarantee. Ferguson did have we not gone wrong?
Better
than that.
This is where I think we've gone wrong. Is that we just thought these marquee players, like so it's like Adam McKola, they're doing well. We'll get them in, but they've actually thought of the system that we're playing. Can they fit into our system? Now, whether you like it or not, right? About Lukaku, he was bought to score goals. He wasn't bought.
Yeah, look,
he wasn't
check
bought.
This out. Check this out. From when the Glazers arrived, yeah. So, 05-06 departures. Hang on. Arrivals. Wait, what's going on here? Okay. So 05-06, we made 7 million in departures.
Right.
We spent 28 million. 21 million we spent in 05-06. 06-07, we recouped 16 million. That was when we sold like Rue van Nistelrooy to Real Madrid and David Jones to Derby. Yeah. And we spent 25 million. So that one we spent about 10 mil. Yeah, that was when we bought Carrick. And we got Henrik Larsson on loan. Yeah. Thomas Kuszak on loan. Yeah. Dong Fangju came back from his loan at Royal Antwerp. So that was going on around that time. You see, this is when Roman's just coming in and he's spending all his money. So we're not competing financially. The following summer, 07-08, we recouped £41 million when we sold the likes of Heinze, Rossi, Smith, Richardson and Howard. We spent £93 million. That was probably one of the best summers we had under the Glazers. With Fergie, that's when we signed Anderson, Nani, Hargreaves, just before we went on to win the European Cup. So that was really a big summer for us when we spent 93 million, but we brought in 42.
Okay.
So we only spent 50 million even then. So we were always, buying. And I don't know since Fergie's gone, they've chucked a lot of money at it. But it's the way you spend money as well.
Absolutely.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and the money's not been spent properly.
08-09, we recouped 6 million.
But we said the money's not been spent.
And we spent 40.
But we said the money's not been spent properly. You're right in a lot of ways, but you have to understand market forces are changing.
09-10.
That's why I like Pep.
09-10, we recouped 94 million.
Gee.
And we spent 24 million. So 09-10,
that was
after back-to-back Champions League finals.
Yeah. Massive.
Glazeronomics.
But you see, but that's why Pep says, doesn't he? Right, he understands why a team like Man United, when you're at the top of their tree, had to pay the premium. And that's why Man City are refusing to do that. And they're getting players that are going to fit into their system.
Now,
of course they do. But we still have to because of what's going on. But unless you go, I'm not doing that, but then we've got to look at players who are going to fit into a system, you're going to pay X amount because it's Man United.
10-11.
You just said Maguire, 60 million, 70 million, 80 million.
10-11, we recouped 16 million.
But we're also
we spent 26.
We're spending premiums because you got the likes of Ed Woodward coming out the other year saying we can do things in the transfer market no others can do. I mean, why would you do that? He's also, I know
Whether know football.
Yeah, well, exactly. But so why is he
11,
in the
12, we recouped £12 million and we spent 56. That was when we brought David De Gea, Phil Jones, Ashley Young. Again, it looks like we spent a lot, but it was realistically only 40 million we spent.
Even
the following summer, 12, 13, we recouped 9 million and we spent 69 million. So we spent 60 million that one. That was Fergie's last year. And then the following windows, we did spend a lot. Like so, the following 13, 14, we had a net of 60 million pounds, 65 million pounds. The following window, we had a net of 130 million pounds. And then the following window after that, we had a net of 50 million pounds. Net after that one was of 120 million pounds. Net after that, 130 million pounds. And so after Fergie left, they did try chucking money at everything, but it was our money.
Yeah.
And I know that was annoying me, just keep bringing up figures.
No, you know.
But I just kind of wanted to annoy everyone at home with me popping up and annoy you guys, because that is literally what the Glazers have been doing.
Yeah.
Popping up, taking money.
Yeah.
We've been looking like we're spending a lot, but realistically, when you dig deep.
Well, this is supposed to have been our biggest rebuild, our big transition. And if you look, I mean, we sold Lukaku and obviously Sanchez and that have left and Smalling. But we still, again, we recouped. So we spent 70 million, really, this summer. We needed, whether we needed more.
That's exactly how much
we needed more than
but
that.
Why are you selling both strikers? Because he's been told to cut the wage bill. Now, if you can't tell me as a manager, you look at that and look at the broader picture. I can sell you or I can sell you. I can't do both because I'm not leaving that squad short. Martial flips his eyelash and he's out for whatever reason. Rashford isn't going to score you 20 odd goals. And the young lad Greenwood is still too young yet to put pressure on him. No. We can talk about Chelsea breeding their youngsters, but it's a different mentality at Man United. You know what I mean? So, what are you doing? Sell one or the other. And do you know that James has come in, and I was against James coming in personally because I believe in we should be giving these academy players more chance. But he's come in and he's gone, right, this is what I'm doing. The amount of balls he puts in now, Lukaku will be scoring bags. As a natural scorer, he's getting the service now where before he never got the service.
But I do think Danny James against Liverpool was a great assist for Rashford's goal, but he could have had another.
Oh, he could have done. But you know
just didn't pick the pass.
But he's getting kicked.
Rashford isn't a centre forward, unfortunately. He's definitely
on
the left wing.
Yeah, left forward. Never been a centre forward.
I've said it loads of times. His movement into the area, which Lukaku tended to have, isn't good enough.
No,
but it was.
It was, but at the minute, it was that
that's
game.
That's what we need to see from him more, isn't it?
The way I look, maybe it's just my miserable pessimistic self as usual, but you could also look at the fact that those players weren't replaced because it was almost a protection for the Glazers of not being in the Champions League this season. The massive amount of money that they're going to lose from the sponsorships and the prize money of the Champions League.
We're not losing it.
I genuinely think Ollie said, I don't just want any old player that you. I don't want Mandzukic. Why are you offering me Mandzukic?
Why are we having him at 33?
No, but it's like that's why I think. I think we have actually now got a manager that is saying, I don't just want. Remember when Jose kept Darmian just because he never got someone else? Do you remember that? Like he just kept him just like. I think Ollie's like. Actually, I'm not going to do that. And I don't think the club are saying to him, get the wage bill down. I think they're happy that he's going down. But I think... I think because they're so slow, Ollie's been forced into these positions where he's actually
Would you have got rid of both his top strikers?
I would have got rid of Lukaku if I thought I was replacing him. I would have got rid of Alexis Sanchez and replaced him with Greenwood in the squad. Because he literally offered nothing.
Right, okay. So this is what I'm saying. I'm asking you a question. Are you getting rid of both strikers? Are you getting rid of both strikers?
I believe Ollie thought he was getting replaced with Lukaku.
So that is the same scenario where Jose believed he was getting A, B and C and got shit, and then he went, stuff yous. So then, boom. We're not, listen, you know me, it's well documented. I was a Jose man. No. Did I like the style of football? No. But as someone who's going to go in, he's going to blitz the club, he's going to rebuild the back four, and that's what he does in every club. You look at his history, he decimates teams, rebuilds them, and then has a barn and gets off. For me, the biggest thing is we should have got him in straight after Fergie went. But you imagine, Moyes took us to the quarter-final of the Champions League that season. What would he have done? I'm not saying we would have won the Champions League, but can you imagine him coming in and winning Champions League in his first season?
And he would have come into a team full of winners. And it's different then. You can call him...
Right, and we would have had that 3 years hassle.
You know what I mean?
Wouldn't we? And he would have probably got him 3 years, but he would have built something.
He would have won the league.
But the Jose thing, I mean, his football was about as exciting
as
let's
not go back.
I'm not saying we're not going about. I'm just trying to give you an example of trying to say. But you know, if we're talking about is Ole the man? Would Mourinho have got rid of his 2 top strikers? No, he wouldn't have done. Ole's decision. No, Ole, listen. You don't have to be a scientist to understand
but this is the thing,
that we cannot get rid of 2 strikers.
I think Ole knew. Look, Alexis, we haven't got rid of 2 strikers. Alexis offered literally nothing.
But where we're playing now,
got rid of one.
Would he benefit us now?
I believe Ole was like, right, Lukaku. And you got to look at the situation. The situation became one where Lukaku had checked out.
Yeah.
He hadn't mentally even... He wasn't even training with United.
Right, so let him go. See ya.
So even at the end of the window, if Ole was thinking, I need a striker, I need to keep it, he couldn't because he had checked out.
Well, let him
I
go.
genuinely
He
believe
can't
it
get
was
Sanchez
the
go as
failure
well.
of the board. Everyone knew Lukaku was off.
Right.
From July.
Right.
Yeah, the problem was not replacing.
Everyone knew Pogba was, but he's still here.
Slow.
He's
Look
still
at
here.
the deals we made. He's talking proud about the deals we made.
Pogba's still here.
Wan-Bissaka plays for Crystal Palace in the
51
Premier League.
million, having
We
a
paid
joke.
what they... No, that was worth it, but we paid what they
Yeah,
wanted.
but
Maguire,
Kyle Walker
we
was
paid what they
50 million
wanted.
however many years ago.
Hold on a minute.
And he's, 28, and he's a right back. We're playing for a young, possibly our right back now for the next 10 years.
I'm not arguing with the deal. What I'm saying
Right.
is we gave them the asking price after months of negotiations, and he's acting like it's shrewd business. Like, he's acting like we needed to scout these players. We're in the Premier League.
Trippier has had one dodgy season at Tottenham. He gets sold for 20 million. Are you telling me, right?
Wan-Bissaka's young though, isn't he?
Listen, are you telling me that we're not going to get Trippier to cover who can play left and right back, still an England international, a United fan, lives in Bolton? 20 million? You're having him for cover, aren't you?
Do you think...
Instead we've got Young, come on, please.
Do you think we'd have got Trippier for 20 million now? With us being United, I think they'd have gone, you're United, 40 million.
Well,
Right,
so
we've
what?
got another read before we move on. And I actually want to move on to an interesting topic as well, because Jamie Carragher and Patrice Evra addressed the Luis Suarez incident, which was interesting. Before we go on to that, theathletic.co.uk/FullTimeDEVILS for your 50% off your yearly subscription. Yes, the link is in the description below. The Athletic, the home of fantastic sports content. No clickbait, no bull. It's fantastic. Ornstein's on the football, Mittens on the football. You got all those kind of great guys on the football. You've seen Laurie Whitwell on here. They also cover the MMA, NFL, loads of different sports. I've been checking out the boxing articles on there as well, which I've really enjoyed.
There's plenty on there.
Yeah, they're covering everything. So check out theathletic.co.uk/FullTimeDEVILS for your 50% off. And yeah, the link's in the description below. 50% off your annual subscription, which works at $2.49 a month. And people buy newspapers every day. So, it's cheaper than buying the newspaper every day. And it's better than buying the newspaper every
It's
day.
not rubbish, actually.
Who wants to
really
buy
good.
things like The Sun and that?
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Anyway, moving on.
Can I just quickly have
Yes.
a quick one as well? Man United women, brilliant result weekend.
Oh, yeah? Thank
Beat
you
Man
for chipping
City,
in with
Yeah.
that.
which is a fantastic psychological boost for them. I mean, I went to the game at start of the season for the derby, and United were very unlucky not to get something out of the game. I just love what Casey Stone is doing. It's fantastic. And also my mate, the sports scientist, fitness, Ellie Turner.
You go down to the game?
Big shout. I go, mate.
So how
I'm
can you
big into it.
get on a fan cam with that and that? Yeah,
I'm big into it. I'll let your girl do it.
yeah, so you need to go do one with her next
But
time.
no, it's
Come on,
great,
Trev.
and it's a great psychological
I don't like
thing.
to talk about the women's football because I feel like I'll do it injustice. Because I don't,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
have
fine.
a clue.
Yeah,
So I don't want to
I-
jump
yeah.
on a bandwagon.
Yeah, that's-
I look at the results, but I haven't followed
I
it.
agree,
It's
yeah,
not
but a lot
genuine,
of people don't. If you don't
I
get
feel
it,
like
don't understand
people
it. But yeah,
want
I
to
hope
hear
it's another project.
genuine, heartfelt opinions about it. You'll get that
I'm as
from me on
passionate about the
United
women's
first
game
team.
as I am about the men's game.
That's good,
Being
man.
involved, so it's good.
That's good.
Anyway, yeah.
And it's kind of like Manchester United
Yeah.
in non-league football circumstances because
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of playing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at these smaller stadiums, and you can go down there, have a beer on the
But you
terraces.
see what,
and
for me,
all
you know,
that stuff. It's like proper old school football, isn't
but I
it?
think they missed a trick. So for the derby, for example, why not play the women at 2:00 and the men at 4? And one
Yeah.
ticket for 2, which you're going to get more interested. Do you know what I mean?
They
Because
did that
the
with,
skeptics-
was it like a youth cup final at some point?
Right, okay.
Remember?
Okay. But they should do that. Or put the men first, put the men on first, 12:00, and then the women at 4. And so people stay behind. Do you know what I mean? But fantastic. Anyway,
I
sorry.
probably wouldn't turn up early, but
No, but if you stay,
Some
you might
people
stay
would.
behind.
So a lot of people
Yeah.
would, I
yeah,
reckon.
it's like a lot of people. Would.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are on the concourse drinking an hour before. So
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
sure they
But
will.
afterwards, you know what I mean? But yeah, I get behind him anyway. Sorry.
Anyway,
Just throw that in for the
And
young
if you
girls.
are at the games, the Man United women game, Nat's there usually doing fan cams, so check that out as well. Jamie Carragher, Patrice Evra, discussed the racism incident. Jamie Carragher apologised for his part in it and wearing the T-shirt.
How many years is that?
It
8
is
years,
a
I think.
long time.
A long time coming.
It was, first of all, hats off to Sky for addressing it, because they could have not addressed the elephant in the room. Do you know what I mean? Just skirted over it. Spoke about racism recently and not spoken about the Luis Suarez Evra incident. So I was glad they tackled it. It was refreshing to actually finally hear someone apologise for it. But I also had a bit of a feeling of, why couldn't you say it then?
That's my issue.
Yeah, I think
What
That's
do you
my
guys
issue.
think?
You know me. Listen, been at a club. I've worked with Kick It Out.
But I do like Jamie Carragher.
Lots of time. I've worked with Kick It Out lots of times. Do they do enough? No, I don't. As far as I'm concerned, they've regressed. You know what I mean? We've got the man who thinks he speaks as the expert on racism for all black people, John Barnes. Completely pathetic.
He has nothing to do with
some of the no, but he's worked with him. Like we used to go into schools and kids used to come in and they'd come in and do stuff with him and do it with Sarah, etc. It's about racism. One question that I always got asked, they go, "How do you deal with racism, sir?" And I go, "You know what? It's a personal thing. It's in the moment. For me, there's no right way or wrong way to deal with racism. Someone might call me the N-word, I smack him. Someone might call me the N-word and I laugh at him and go, it's in the moment how you are. This is what I truly believe. It's how you are in that moment.
It is a personal...
It's a thing, right.
Because a lot of people of colour as well, they've come out, even non-people of colour that have commented on it, they all have a different opinion on how it should have been handled. And I think some people say England should have walked off the pitch.
Absolutely.
I say England should have walked off the pitch. And I feel if England were losing, they would have walked off the pitch. I feel because they were winning, it was easier to say, let's just absolutely spank these lot. You know
Do you know what I think?
Pay them a lesson.
Do you know what I think? They say...
Hats off to Haringey for actually walking
Absolutely.
off the pitch in the FA Cup game. There maybe would have been a lot of pressure on them not to. Big opportunity for them. They go 1-0 down against Yeovil. Their goalkeeper's racially abused by the fans. And they walk off the pitch. And their manager spoke after and he was like, I can't look in my players' faces when they're telling me what they're hearing and allow them to go back. As a human, I can't do it. And that's why I think, while I criticise the England players for staying on the pitch against Bulgaria, I almost feel like a dickhead for doing that, because I'm expecting Tyrone Mings, who's making his England debut, to come off the pitch. That decision shouldn't be left to them. That should almost be down to the referee to say, this is too much. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be putting the decision into the hands of the abused, because it's emotional for them, and it's going to become something that splits. So what if England go into the dressing room, Raheem Sterling's like, I want to come off. Marcus Rashford's like, I want to stay on. Tyrone Mings is like, lads, this is my debut. Like, so you've then got 3 people with different opinions. That are all maybe feeling the same. So ultimately, that decision should be taken out of their hands in order to make a stand. And I feel Haringey's manager did that for them, whereas referees or maybe UEFA, FIFA should stand up and help them. But what did you think of the discussion between Carragher and...
I've not actually seen it. I just got sent a video before. I didn't watch the game. You know what I mean? Today, but
I'll find some quotes now from Jamie Carragher.
I saw the Evra.
There's a 12-minute thing, isn't there?
I didn't watch it all, but I watched the Evra apology, and if anything, I thought it should have been done 7 years ago, 7.5 years ago. I thought Carragher coming out saying it wasn't Kenny Dalglish who knew about it and all that. I think you're trying to protect somebody there, because he would have known about it.
There's been a few comments about that.
The manager would have known about it, and
surely the manager has the veto, right? He could just say, this ain't happening on my watch, lad.
But this is my thing in terms of Barnes. So when that all kicked off, you never heard Barnes. You never heard Barnes come out and say stuff, because the impression everybody got, even people I know in Liverpool, that he still thought he was going to get a coaching job back there. So if he comes out and he berates that, you're berating the club. And we know it happens.
Jamie Carragher said, apologies, as a club we got it wrong. I look at myself and I say I didn't have the courage as an individual to say I wasn't wearing it. Patrice Evra said it hurt more to him because it came out after the verdict.
The ban, yeah.
After.
Not before the verdict.
That's what I got.
He said if it was before the verdict, maybe I could understand a little bit, but it came out after the verdict. And that is as well another point, like... And
the abuse that he got from the fans, remember? He's played after that, and he's always got booed.
And that's almost... Because the club gave...
They protected a guilty racist, effectively.
But they almost allowed the fans to target Evra, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they're complicit in that. They're complicit in that. Whether people like it or not, it's complicit. Because I always say, we talk about this and people say, oh yeah, listen, we're not naive enough to know every club has racist fans. We know that. We can't control what they say. But I just know, like there's been an incident that weekend at United, that people around me who are white, before I could say something as a black kid, they would be saying something to that individual and he'd be gone. He'd be gone. Do you know what I mean? When there's a whole lot of him, well, then you take more serious measures. But for me, this is why I am so against, I don't even call them by the name, I call them Racist FC. And so do all my mates, white and black. We call them by that.
Is that Chelsea or Liverpool?
Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Now, for me, the biggest thing that they could have done to upset the whole apple cart, Suarez should have got sacked. So should... Let me just finish. So should have got sacked, and so should Terry. But because of the money involved, they couldn't do it.
That was the point that.
And so I don't get me. If I'm now a granddad, and if my grandson gets scouted for Liverpool, do you think he'd be going there? No way would he be going there with their historical abuse. There's no way. I don't care. He's not going. And that is, and you see, but that's half the issue. That's half the issue that's been with black players before. Yeah. That they wouldn't stand out because they're scared to lose their 250 grand a week or blah 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? So now we've come in reverse. Someone says to me today, well, why didn't players walk off back in the day? Because back in the day there wasn't enough black players that could make a stand.
And because the attitude was,
stiff upper lip, go on with it.
Get on with
Score
it,
a few goals, stick it up.
Prove them wrong.
But now the millionaires before they go on the pitch.
Yeah, but that's Ian Wright made the good point of they were the generation of footballers who had to deal with it. And it's nice to see that now the generation of footballers have got that sort of decision that they can walk off.
31% of players in the Premiership are black.
But I'm glad Carragher came out and said that clubs have a tendency to protect their own. And that's bang on. I mean, look, United have Ron Atkinson on IMU TV, so we're not...
No, not
totally...
No,
ourselves.
Yeah, you put your house in order.
When you look at John Terry at Chelsea, he was protected. Luis Suarez, they are protected because they are assets to those clubs.
Yeah.
If they were youth players, if they were the cleaner, that was the kit man, they get sacked.
Yeah.
They don't get sacked because they're worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I was glad that Carragher kind of came out and said that, because then it kind of makes clubs think about their conduct when one of their players is guilty of it. And now that it's been said out in the open, hopefully they would think that. Not that I think it will. I don't think anything changes, unfortunately.
The thing I seem to get sick of is, I mean, I've obviously never experienced racism, but the one thing I'm noticing about it at the minute is John Barnes seems to be the media's go-to. He's the media's go-to to go, let's get his opinion.
Listen,
is he the only spokesman for all black footballers?
No, he thinks he is. Because
and he seems to think he is. There's so many out there.
What people don't
Ian
understand
Wright
about
was
Barnes,
perfect for it.
What people don't understand about Barnes is, right, Barnes came from an affluent background. Now, listen, so back when I was at United, we did a black players that played for Man United, right, for the museum. It then went from there, it went to the National Museum. Because first of all, it started with black players that played for Man United, then it went to black players that played for
Remy Moses?
No, I can't remember his first name. And then it was Ossie Williams, and then it was Tony Whelan. He was at the Academy, but there was a kid before him.
So what year was it?
So you're talking 1970-something, right? But we had the thing, but it was quite interesting, we put Giggsy up there, right? So Ken Merrick was the secretary.
His dad's black.
So Ken Merrick was secretary, and he's gone, why have you put him on there? He's not black. Here he is. No, he's not. Here he is. Couldn't have it. I said, it's mixed race. No, he's not. Now, to this day, I'll ask you the question. I would have thousands of fans out there, because Gizzy don't walk around with iron black stamped on his head, and he's light-skinned. How many players know that he's black? So we had that. But when Barnes refuses to make a comment on Suarez, because he thinks he's going to get a job back at Liverpool, then don't get it, and comes out like you rightly said, Callum, he's now the expert. He came from a privileged background. His dad was an ambassador. He only experienced racism when he came out and the big banana was thrown at him.
Is he the expert though, because he's the typical middle class person?
I think John Barnes
according
talks
to
a
the
lot
media.
of shit. I think he mainly talks shit, yeah. And especially when he came out the other week and he
Sancho.
said...
Sancho.
Sancho, and then he said, there's loads of black players getting chances in non-league football, and most of them are crap. Like, why are you talking about... But I don't get this notion that just because one person of colour speaks, he speaks for everybody. Other.
Exactly.
Like, when I stand in front of a fan cam and I do my review, I don't speak for every Manchester United fan, like some people think I do. When a white person speaks on white issues, they don't speak for everybody. No one says, they're speaking for every other white person.
Correct.
So I don't think we should... I'm not accusing anyone of doing that, but I think like we easy to fall into that trap and think, just because one person of colour is saying that.
Because I think
everyone
the press,
must think
Adam,
like that,
sorry, I
because
think the
it's not.
press, because he comes over Mr. Articulate, like you just said, Callum, he's from a middle class background, and Mr. Articulate, and they think he can articulate himself well than other black players can't. What? Les Ferdinand. Speak to Les Ferdinand. Speak to any black player. Don't just give
Ian Wright.
Right, and anybody, but even sometimes Wright, you know what I mean? I thought, when he on about England, yeah, but then he went, we got stuff, we got racism, got a kick in the backside and blah, 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 blah. Don't just pander to what they wanted to say, because again, you're in front of the television and you go, I'm going to have to say this, but I can't say that because I'll lose my contract. No, fans would appreciate it more if he spoke as we spoke, if you get in the net. Listen, I'll ask any man, money is worth more than morals in the game now, and that's wrong. That's what's wrong about it. It should be morals. When we were kids, right, and we faced racism on the pitch, it's kicking off. You're not. So the protocol is right. I'm going to call you the P word. Let that one go for a minute.
Yeah.
And then the next time, second time, I'm going to let the public address system do it. And then the third one, call up. Are you joking? The first
it's
time in my
almost like
team,
someone's
so
got
the first time
it's the same as we were playing the black team, right? And we had white players playing with us, but no other black team could say to you, "You're white so and so," because the black players were going, "What you?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you've got to be called.
I think it's
something 3
self-policing
times before
sometimes as well.
When really, if you think about it, if someone's called it once, boom, go off.
One sec.
There should be no.
We have to wrap this up, by the way. Sorry too, because we are running out of time. So I do apologise for cutting you off. The reason I wanted to keep you going, because we need to get Wally of the Week in. And I kind of want to lighten it up. We've been speaking about racism a lot. I think it has to be spoken about. And we've spoken about it a lot over the week. So just to lighten it up at the end of it, Wally of the Weeks. I am Adam McKola. But morals over money is the main. I think that's a good title.
I've got one. To be fair, I've got quite a few from the past week.
Yeah, you said you had 8, I think.
I think I've got 8, but
Go on, we'll comment on them then.
I've got. I don't know if you saw the tweet. There was a woman who said, "If you all hate Manx, clap your hands." She's lived in Manchester for 40 years and owns a bar near to where I live. I won't mention the bar.
Mention it, name and shame.
Nah, yeah. You can't. That's like me saying that. It's like, Adam, you're a Manchester United fan from
Do you know what though?
Birmingham,
But I quite like the
Name
bar.
and shame.
You can't go in there now, surely.
It's one in Urmston, so I'm sure people who listen to it in that area will know exactly what I'm on about.
I think if someone gets nominated for Wally of the Week,
I agree, yeah.
they have to get properly
It's not that
named.
tea house, it's not that tea place.
I think she's called Jane. I think she's called Jane. But we'll leave
Someone's
it at that.
mom
her
just
Jane.
got
We'll
name
call her
dropped as
Jane.
Wally of the Week.
Right, yeah. She's got a bar in
So
Urmston. Right, okay.
So she got a bar in Urmston, and she said, "If you all hate Manx, clap
Obviously
your
with the
hands."
game
Is she
at the
Liverpool fan?
weekend. She's Liverpool fan, a Scouser, and she tweeted, "If you all hate Manx, clap your hands."
Well, she's taking our money then. She's taking the Manx money though. Okay.
Someone made a good comment though back saying, I think I speak for all Mancunians, but your application has been declined. Because she said how she was an adopted Manc, and I thought, well, it was quite funny. Raphael van der Vaart's a good shout as well for him saying that about Maguire, saying if he could go to a Sunday League team and find 3 Maguires, if he's worth 80 million, Van Dijk's worth 300 million.
But I mean, if a Sunday League footballer's worth 80 million and Van Dijk's
just
worth
thought it was
300
I
million,
thought it
then
was a
how good is
stupid
Van
comment.
Dijk?
I just don't get all this. I'm sorry, I know we're going
Getting
quickly off, but I
weights
don't
by
really get all
Rashford.
this Van Dijk thing. I mean, listen, I'm
Nah,
not
he's
denying the
mid,
kid's
man,
a top player, mate. But Balloon d'Or, come on, please.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What
Anyway.
did you call it?
Balloon d'Or, I call it. Balloon. Not Ballon d'Or. Balloon.
Wally of the Week, Trev?
I don't know, you know. Maybe.
Mine is the traffic warden that's currently putting a ticket on my car because of these, like, by the way.
That's why you get the tram in.
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, because it's football related. I'm just thinking.
Ashley Young for his man marking skills at when Lallana
I just think it's a
scored.
Wally period for him, so it's not just a week. But no, I haven't got one. I don't think.
No.
Oh, VAR. VAR's got to be the Wally of the Week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
With the whole thing, 8 goals disallowed over the weekend.
Southampton have had 7 goals chalked off against them with VAR. They must love it.
That Delafeu one was
Oh!
awful.
Oh,
my God. How you can go to any referee and look at that and
penalty.
then they go back into the referee's ear and say, yeah, we agree with you, that wasn't a penalty. I just don't
I have
see
got
how
one.
you can
I have
look
got
at
Wally
that.
of the Week. I've got Klopp as Wally of the Week with his rant after the game about led up to the goal. But what about the 1 week before? He never complained when Thingy dived, did he?
Complain about
When
Mane
Mane dived.
Quit your bitching. If you beat us last year, you might have actually won the league. Right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, all that jazz. Make sure you check out Beer 52 and The Athletic as well. The links are in the description below for your free beers and your 50% off The Athletic. Keep it locked to Full Time Devils. Thank you to Callum. Check out his blog. The link is also in the description below for that. Thank you to Trev for joining us. His Twitter handle is also below. And we'll see you later.
See y'all.
Cheers.